Crow's Soul Ascension Guide and Love Coach. I am coming to you today from my nook. This is my meditation nook, and this is where I love to just be able to sit and let it all go. So I know I've been coming to you lately from nature, my outdoor office, but today here I am, and we're going to talk about inner child work. So also I just wanted to show you my altar over here that I love so much. And my aunt built that table for me, which is very nice. And I have some oracle cards that I like to pull. Sometimes I practice yoga in here, and some selenite, Nataraja, some beads, some mala beads from my yoga teacher training at Kripalu in 2010, but they broke. An inner child, I'm going to talk about this, okay? Just this plaque that I put together. Some different oils that I have, and my process is I basically come and I sit in here, and I put my music on, and light my candle, light my sage, and pull my cards, put my oils on, and get ready to just bliss out. So, all right, inner child work. So the topic came to me because it's something that is really behind so much of our healing. And if you're unfamiliar with what the inner child is, I just posted yesterday about it and some different wounds that we may have that come up around our inner child and ways that we can be working to heal. So this inner child is the unconscious part of our mind. And a lot of times in relationships, in dynamics with other people, this inner child comes out. And it comes out in the form of some really, really maladaptive ways of showing itself. So maybe not wanting to be left alone, maybe fearing being left, maybe fear of being left out of situations, possibly really tolerating some codependent dynamics, which are never good. And I talk a lot about them. And honestly, I really get into a lot of detail frequently with attachment styles and our nervous system regulation and just what all of that looks like. But these wounds come out, this inner child comes forth so that we can heal her or him. So this graphic that I shared yesterday on my page, the abandonment wound clings to relationships that are toxic, and you know they're over, but you just really cling to it. Typically attract emotionally unavailable people. You don't like being alone. You threaten to leave a lot, and you're often codependent. So then there's a rejection wound. These core wounds, I believe we have shame, guilt, inferiority, trust wounds, fear of rejection, fear of abandonment. We have these wounds that come up for us, and these are some different ways that they show themselves. So the rejection wound, you struggle to let things go. You repress emotions, often a people pleaser and really afraid to say no, so therefore not very good at setting any boundaries or understanding where I end and you begin and any of that. You get upset easily, have low self-esteem, and typically will attract people who are going to take you for granted and make you feel really unappreciated, unseen, unheard, not validated in any way. So these for our inner child and for us as adults, we have these fundamental needs to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel validated, appreciated, loved. And when that's not happening, the inner child really comes out. And we can do so much healing around that to start showing up differently in our relationships with other people. So the trust wound is you don't trust yourself. You often don't follow through on your word. You don't feel safe. Sabotage situations that are going well. Finding reasons to not trust someone or to just bail on the plans. And often very insecure. Often the people with trust wounds are needing a lot of external validation and reassurance. Then there's the shame wound, and the shame, John Bradshaw, he's an author, and he wrote a book, Homecoming. He talks about shame and guilt as far as the inner child goes, And shame is like a way that that we are, that we believe that we are. Like deep down, we believe that there's something wrong with us, that we are flawed, and we just can't do it right. So constantly criticizing ourselves. Maybe you're a perfectionist, maybe you're a workaholic, maybe you're a neat freak. The guilt wound is more of a doing. So the doing, you don't like to ask for help. You're afraid, or you often say sorry, or you feel bad, and you're afraid to set boundaries. So all of these ways that the inner child can show up, and of course there are more, all these ways that the inner child can show up in your relationships now really are able to be healed and smoothed over, repaired, just by giving the inner child some love and attention. So I included in my post the other day about some different techniques that you can use, that you can practice on the daily to be able to be working with your inner child. And something that I found extremely helpful for me and for my clients when they do participate in this activity is to create this like, you don't even have to do all this. I created it in Canva where I create all my other graphics, but that's the poster that's on my altar, or this, these pictures. This is me. This little Cara, and I created this one night when I was really feeling very graspy. I was looking outside myself. This relationship, there had been the demise of the relationship that I was in, and it went on, the ending of it went on for a very long time, and I was constantly looking to this other person to fill something inside myself that, no one else can fill that. We're the only ones. You're the only one who's going to come and save yourself. You can hire people to help you. I'm a coach. You can hire people to help you move through this deeply healing inner work. But really, you are the one that puts in the time and the effort and starts to really shift your maladaptive patterns and the dysfunctional nervous system regulation that you may have going on. So I was really looking outside myself and wanting things to be a different way and not fully accepting the reality of the situation. With someone who couldn't return a phone call, who couldn't return texts, who couldn't hold space for me when I had emotional stuff coming up, as I was moving through my own healing. So I was like, okay, I'm it. It's up to me, basically. So here I created this. And I just included some phrases, things that I felt like my inner child was really needing to hear. I love you just the way you are. Nothing is missing. What do you need, my love? I am here for you, and I'm not going anywhere ever. So a really simple activity to do. You can get a picture of yourself. Great, that works fine. But then also something that's really simple that you can do is just think back in your mind to whatever age first comes up for you. And when you think about that age, you think about what your inner child, what that little version of you was really needing on an emotional level, on a physical level, mentally, spiritually, if you can connect on that level. And you, as the adult version of yourself, give what your inner child needs to her now, or to him now. You go back. So a lot of times I sit in meditation, I sit in my nook, and I just let little Cara cuddle up with me. I just let her, she just wants to cuddle up right next to me because I really just like to be close. Even in adulthood, I like to be very close to people that I love. And so I just let her cuddle up right next to me. And, I'm able to stroke her hair in my mind, in my mind's eyes, imagination. In adulthood, we lose our imagination, but please, I ask that you rekindle your relationship with your imagination and do this inner child, do this healing work, because it's so therapeutic and it's so beneficial to really help you shift some patterns that may not be working for you anymore. So I let her cuddle up right next to me. You treat her just like you would treat any other child you love. But this is you, and you're able to go back and do this. And a lot of times, inner child work, inner child healing goes hand in hand with reparenting. Reparenting is another topic, but it's basically when our adult version is setting limits, boundaries, structure for our adult self. So those two really go hand in hand, but for the sake of today, I wanted to focus on inner child work, inner child healing, and offer you guys an activity to be able to do for your inner child. So I hope you found that helpful. And be in touch. If you haven't already grabbed my book, keep showing up on Amazon. It's a memoir and powerful guidebook for empaths to embody self-love, self-empowerment, and self-worth, because this is what it's all about, is really being able to shift all these different things for ourselves. Relationships are our greatest spiritual teacher, really. And we're always in relationships. So this book, first and foremost, is about the relationship you have with yourself. The first part of it is my story, and then the second part are jam-packed with lessons, very powerful lessons to be able to help you shift your perspective on things, and really start showing up differently in your relationships for yourself and for those who you love and who you're interacting with. And then also, I would love it if you would join my text line. So it's really simple. You just text in LOVE 143 to area code 585-449-9913. Okay, write that down. LOVE 143. That's the code. And then you get texts from me and reminders of love and empowerment and educational stuff and different ways that will help support you on your healing journey. Okay? So, I love you guys. I hope you're having a fabulous day, and I hope you found this useful. And like, share, comment, let me know your thoughts, okay? Peace.